Imagine a prison where food decides who lives, and every month, the system reshuffles the winners and the dead. One man volunteers to enter. He thinks he can change it. He's wrong. In a brutal facility called the Vertical Self-Management Center, Goring wakes inside a concrete cell marked 48. The room is bare, just a bed, a sink, and a massive hole in the floor. His cellmate, an older man named Trimagayci, calls it the pit. The prison is made of hundreds of stacked floors, 2 inmates per level, all using fake names assigned by the administration. Once a day, a platform loaded with food descends through the pit. Prisoners have 2 minutes to eat whatever they can before it drops to the next floor. The lower your level, the slimmer your chances of eating. At the end of every month, everyone is sedated and randomly reassigned to new floors. When the platform arrives for the first time, Goring refuses to eat. He isn't hungry, and he wants to leave food for those below. Trimagayci, on the other hand, eats as much as possible, then spits on the leftovers, knowing the people above have already done worse. Goring secretly keeps an apple, but as soon as the platform leaves, the cell begins to heat up violently. Hoarding food is forbidden. If he doesn't get rid of it, they'll burn alive. The punishment reminds Goring of the interview that brought him here. He signed a contract agreeing he could not leave before his sentence was over. Every prisoner was allowed to bring one item. Goring chose a copy of Don Quixote. He entered voluntarily, 6 months inside in exchange for an accredited diploma. The next day, Goring again refuses to eat. Trimagayci scoffs, saying floor 48 is wasted on him. When Goring asks about his past, Trimagayci explains it started with a TV commercial. He bought a miracle knife only for a better one to be advertised days later. Enraged, he threw his television out the window, accidentally killing a man below. Given a choice between a psychiatric hospital and the pit, he chose the pit. Trimagayci reveals the lowest level he's ever reached was 132, and he could see even more floors beneath it. Down there, no food ever arrives. 1 month on a low level is survivable. 2 in a row is deadly. Terrified, Goring tries to convince other floors to ration their food, but no one listens. Trimagayci mocks him by urinating into the levels below and reveals the knife he brought is the same one from the commercial. Eventually, Goring gives in and starts eating. During one descent, he sees a body fall from above. Trimagayci says it happens all the time and no one ever intervenes. He casually mentions they'll be cellmates again next month. That's when Goring realizes the truth. Cellmates stay together during the shuffle, meaning Trimagayci once ate his former partner on a lower level. On the next descent, a wounded woman named Miharu is riding the platform. Goring is concerned, but Trimagayci tells him to ignore her. He explains she descends once a month searching for her missing child, killing her cellmates to improve her odds of being reassigned with the child. The falling body they saw earlier was likely her doing. Trimagayci insists he's different. He never killed anyone. He only ate what fell onto his floor. When the platform reaches the next level, prisoners try to assault Miharu. Goring shouts for them to stop, but it's unnecessary. Miharu kills them effortlessly and rides the platform back up. At the end of the month, gas fills the cell. Goring loses consciousness. He wakes up tied to his bed on floor 171. Trimagayci admits he tied Goring up for one simple reason. Goring is younger and stronger, and Trimagayci needs to protect himself. From other floors, screams echo through the shaft as prisoners wake up to their new levels. When the platform finally arrives, it's completely bare, not a single crumb left. 8 days have passed. Weak and starving, Goring begs for mercy. Trimagayci calmly announces it's time for him to eat. He raises his knife and slices flesh from Goring's thigh. Just before he can take a bite, the platform descends again, with Miharu riding on it. Recognizing Goring as the one who showed her concern, Miharu lunges at Trimagayci and stabs him with his own knife. She frees Goring, presses the weapon into his hand, and urges him to finish it. Goring collapses soon after. He wakes later on the bed. His leg is bandaged with torn bedsheets. Miharu is now eating Trimagayci's body. She offers Goring a piece of meat and some water. After hesitating, he accepts. Without saying a word, Miharu leaves on the platform. Days drag on. Trimagayci's corpse rots, and Goring survives on what remains, along with worms. Hunger and isolation break his mind. He begins hallucinating Trimagayci's ghost, silently judging him as he eats. At the end of the month, gas fills the cell. Goring dreams of being with a woman while Miharu watches from a distance. When he wakes, something is licking his face, a dog. His new cellmate is Imagiri, the woman who interviewed him before he entered the prison. The dog is the item she chose to bring. They're now on floor 33. Goring remembers her unsettling pauses during the interview. Now she explains she volunteered just like him, and that she had no idea people were dying in here. Imagiri believes there are only 200 levels. When Goring tells her the food doesn't reach everyone, she insists the system would work if people simply ate what they needed. What's missing, she says, is a spontaneous sense of solidarity. Goring finds the idea naive, briefly wondering if the death of a child would force change. But Imagiri insists minors aren't allowed. When the platform arrives, Imagiri eats only a small portion, feeds her dog, and carefully prepares 2 full rations. As the platform descends, she pleads with the prisoners below to eat the portions and prepare 2 more for the next level. She's completely ignored. Goring points out that the administration never wanted solidarity to exist in the first place. Imagiri bristles at the accusation, defending the system she once worked for. Goring fires back that her position gave her privileges, like choosing her cellmate. Still, she refuses to stop trying. Day after day, she repeats the process. Day after day, no one listens. 2 weeks later, Goring snaps. He shouts down the shaft that if they don't follow Imagiri's instructions, he'll defecate on the food every single day, and they'll be forced to eat it. The threat works. The message finally starts moving downward. Not long after, the platform descends again with an unconscious Maharu lying on it. Goring and Imagiri lift Maharu onto the bed and tend to her wounds while the dog quietly steals food from the platform. Once it disappears, the temperature in the cell plummets. Realizing they'll be punished for hoarding, Goring chases the dog and wrestles the food back just in time. That night, Goring gives up the bed and sleeps on the floor. He's jolted awake by screams. Maharu has killed the dog and is eating it. By morning, she boards the platform and leaves without a word. Goring finally tells Imagiri about Maharu's supposed search for a child. Imagiri corrects him. Maharu came alone 10 months earlier. She was an actress with no family, another volunteer like Goring. Imagiri admits her own guilt. She helped send people into this place without knowing how horrific it was. She's also been fighting cancer for 3 years. When she learned she was losing, she volunteered, believing she could fix the system. She no longer cares. On their last day on floor 33, Goring urges Imagiri to eat, warning they might be sent lower. She refuses to leave the bed. The next morning, Goring wakes up on floor 202, far below what Imagiri believed was possible. The truth breaks her. She uses her bed sheets to end her life. Immediately, Trimagayai's hallucination returns, asking whether Goring will eat his new friend. This time, Imagiri and her dog appear as well, insisting he has no choice. Goring tries to resist, distracting himself by chewing pages from Don Quixote and carving tally marks into the wall with a broken plate. Eventually, hunger wins. Guided by Trimagayai's voice, he begins feeding on Imagiri. After the next shuffle, Goring awakens on floor 6. He briefly sees Maharu attacking him with a knife, but it's only a dream. His real cellmate is Bahara, an optimistic man who brought a rope. Convinced he can climb to the top, Bahara asks the prisoners above for help. They mock him, then agree, only to humiliate him by defecating on his face mid-climb. Disgusted, Bahara lets go. Goring barely catches him, but the rope is lost forever. When the platform arrives, they eat while listening to the prisoners above have sex, laughing as they do. As days go by, hallucinations return. Trimagayai congratulates Goring, only 1 month left. Imagiri reminds him that change never happens on its own. That idea sticks. Goring proposes a plan to Bahara. They'll ride the platform down, armed with whatever weapons they can find, and force people to ration the food, so everyone survives. Based on his time on floor 202, Goring calculates there are around 250 levels. Brutal, but possible. Bahara agrees to the plan. Together, they rip apart the bed and turn its metal frame into crude weapons. When the platform arrives, they jump on and stop it at level 7. Goring insists no one on the upper levels is allowed to touch the food. These people ate yesterday and will eat again tomorrow. Real hunger starts much lower, below level 50. Bahara hesitates. The prisoners on this floor once tried to help him climb. But when an old man explodes in rage, Bahara understands. He joins Goring in forcing everyone back. Floor by floor, they descend, threatening violence to keep the food untouched. A few levels later, Bahara is stunned to see Brambang, a wise old man he deeply respects. Brambang supports their mission, but warns them the administration has no conscience. If anyone will care, it's the workers at level 0. For that, they'll need a symbol. They choose the panna cotta, a delicate, luxurious dessert. If it reaches the bottom untouched, it will say everything. As the platform continues downward, they guard the panna cotta fiercely, driving people back with threats and force. When they reach level 50, they finally begin distributing food. For the first time, inmates are grateful. On level 97, they find a dying old man and a mentally disabled boy. Goring tries to feed the old man, but the boy coldly tells him not to bother. He plans to kill and eat him later anyway. The next level holds only a corpse. Goring realizes this is where Maharu must have woken earlier. The platform doesn't stop. There are no living prisoners. His calculations were wrong. There are far more than 250 floors. On the next level down, they find two men, one armed with a sword, the other massive and brutal, attacking Maharu. Goring and Bahara jump in. The fight is vicious. Bahara kills his attacker, then helps Goring take down the larger man. But they're too late. Maharu is already dead. Goring wants to stay. Bahara drags him back onto the platform before it leaves. They continue descending, handing out food wherever life remains. Many floors are already silent, filled only with bodies. Finally, the platform stops at level 333, the bottom. At first, it looks empty. Then they see movement. A small child is hiding beneath the bed. Mali, the missing girl. As Goring and Bahara step off the platform, it begins to descend again. Goring tells Bahara to throw the Panna Kata down the shaft. Bahara refuses. The room doesn't heat up. It doesn't freeze. After a long hesitation, Bahara kneels and gives the Panna Kata to the child. They stay there together. Goring is haunted by visions of Trimagesi, Imagiri, and now Maharu. Eventually, Bahara agrees with the voices. The child, he says, is the message. When Goring wakes, Bahara is dead from his wounds. The next time the platform arrives, Goring lifts Molly onto it and rides down with her to level 0, a vast, dark, empty space. Trimagesi appears one last time, telling Goring to step off. He isn't part of the message. Goring obeys. Together, he and Trimagesi watch as the platform rises back up, carrying Molly alone, hoping that when she reaches the top, the people above will finally be forced to see what they've created. The prison is a mirror of our society. Those at the top consume far more than they need, leaving only scraps for the people below. And even when positions are reversed, nothing truly changes, because the problem isn't the system alone, it's human nature. Greed follows power, and empathy fades the moment we believe someone is beneath us. So the real question is this: if you're on the top floor, would you ration or indulge? And if everyone believes they'd be fair, why does this cycle never break? Right now, the least you can do is to promote this small channel by sharing and subscribing to this channel. And if you have reached this, and share a like and comment, watched so I know you were here. Until next time, guys, peace out.